If you've been around the sphere of YouTube for a while, you've heard of social justice tribunals, such as in a recent Canadian case in Quebec where a tribunal concluded that a woman's snoring could not be considered normal, and that she was wrong to refuse medical treatment, stating that the woman had a responsibility to seek medical advice. How far does this mandatory medical treatment go? Pills? Surgery? These tribunals are often criticized for their lack of oversight, accountability, and to many, including myself, legitimacy. However, the UK refuses to be outdone by the upstart colonials. What were once termed antisocial behaviour orders were changed in 2015 to community protection notices in the jurisdiction of England, Wales. Antisocial behaviour orders are still being used in Scotland. A recent order in East Sussex was so sweeping and vague that it stated that among many other only slightly less nebulous orders, they may not, quote, be perceived by any person to be looking into any neighbour's property from outside their property, e.g. from a beach or roadside. It's not enough that they somehow don't look at another property in their neighbourhood. They cannot even be perceived to be looking. A violation of this order can lead to a criminal prosecution based on a perception. These community protection notices can be placed by police or councils without evidence or courts. Other CPNs have been issued to the crying victims of domestic violence for noise violations or for feeding birds. We are all familiar with the story of Count Dankula and his racist dog. He was charged with being grossly offensive under the Communications Act. However, these are not the only ways one can be convicted of non-crimes in the UK. 5 men have been arrested under Section 4A of the Public Order Act of 1986, which covers intentional harassment, alarm, or distress caused by threatening, abusive, or insulting signs or words. Yes, it is illegal to cause distress with insulting signs. Indeed, Lauren Southern was forced to stop doing so under threat of arrest after handing out pamphlets in Luton stating Allah is gay.
To it, okay?
I'm taking offence to what people are saying to me here.
It constitutes a public order offence, okay, and I cannot allow you to display these out here. Okay, people are coming up to us and telling us that it's offensive, and we're potentially going to have a situation on our hands, okay, where people are going to start becoming injured, okay.
People are going to get injured.
Because people are taking offence to what you're saying. And what you're displaying, people are telling me is offensive and they're taking offence to it, okay. Therefore, for your safety and for the safety of everybody else, okay, to prevent any public order offences from occurring or taking place, I need you to remove these from your desk, hand them over to me, and you cannot display them or dish them out. Committing a public order offence, okay? And I'm concerned that if you continue to display these, okay, not only your safety but the safety of other members of the public will be at risk, and I cannot allow you to display these. I'm asking you to take them down. If you don't, okay, then you'll be arrested for a public order offence.
I'll be arrested.
Yes, you will.
If
yes. You need to surrender them to me, and you cannot hand them out, and you cannot distribute them
I
to
have to
anybody.
surrender these. It's fine for you to say Jesus is gay.
How you can say that God is gay?
Sir, please don't swear.
The God is create everything. He's not gay.
The 5 men arrested were 19, 46, 55, and 2 were 49. Their crime? Burning an effigy Grenfell Tower on Guy Fawkes Night, which the Justice for Grenfell campaign said caused great alarm and stress. Theresa May called it unacceptable. In video footage of the bonfire, a group can be heard laughing and saying, "Help me," and "Jump out the window." At the end, someone can be heard saying, "That's what happens when they don't pay their rent." A representative of the Justice for Grenfell campaign group told the BBC, "There is a worrying rise of racism in this country." Under the Public Order Act, racially or religiously aggravated offences carry a prison sentence of up to 2 years, a fine, or both. What race are public housing buildings anyway? Curiously, the woman shown in the video helping load the building onto the flames is not mentioned among those charged. The burning of this cardboard box carries a prison sentence of up to 2 years. For comparison on how seriously England takes these crimes, there's a recent case from Westcliff, Dawlish, where a man was sentenced to 1 year, 10 months by the Exeter Crown Court. In this case, a man arranged for his ex to pick him up from prison, a violation of his conditions. When she brought him home, he tied her up, beat her from head to toe, sliced her up with a knife all over her body, for a period of 3 days. So that is, a guy getting out of prison immediately violates his conditions and tortures somebody for a period of days. And that is a less serious sentence than burning a cardboard building. In another case, in a case of road rage, a cyclist was punched off his bike into an oncoming lane of traffic, received a broken collarbone, multiple broken ribs, a damaged lung, shattered pelvis, and dislocated hip. This act also received a 2-year sentence. I'm going to close out this video with a bit of an update and a hot take by the Sun of all places. Sick stunt. Whining Grenfell Effigy gang claim they are in danger, and sick video isn't racist, as they are unmasked and 6th man arrested. In what the Sun themselves term a horrific joke. That's right, they recognize it as a joke, and the UK media is perfectly happy to prosecute this joke as a criminal offence. In fact, I'd be remiss not to tell you, the Sun is going on a bit of a fishing expedition. Do you know any of the people responsible? Let us know by email or by WhatsApp, and they'll pay for your stories. So if anyone out there has some stories to tell to the reporters, the fish are biting. The gang who burned an effigy of Grenfell Tower today whined their lives are in danger as they were unmasked as the men behind the sick stunt. One of his neighbors said he has a huge 6x4 St. George's flag in his back garden. I always thought he was a bit nationalistic. Who flies a flag like that these days? The flag has been up since they moved in. It's weird. It's just the way they are, I suppose. They are not inclusive and keep themselves isolated. Earlier today, officers spent 2 hours sweeping the property, taking away 2 clear plastic bags, which appeared to contain gaffer tape and white tags, which are indeed slightly more dangerous than automobiles and knives. The footage was reported to Scotland Yard by Twitter user K. Oldroyd, who dubbed the gang racist, bigoted individuals. She raged, "I want these beasts prosecuted," flying the English flag and enjoying a good old laugh at the expense of hundreds of lives who died in the most horrific way. And yes, flying the English flag and having a good old laugh, not at the deaths of hundreds, but at the deaths of millions, has been a fundamental aspect of British culture and comedy in the last half-century. And those millions of dead, or so we were told, are the very reason we can fly that flag and have a good old laugh. The community is stronger together, and even this vile act by flag waving, intellectually challenged, brainwashed sheep won't derail the fight for justice, nor will it knock us off our stride as we walk forward in dignity, in unity, in solidarity, a bit like sheep. So I was just about to hit the upload button, and this is what I was faced with. I've been looking at this shit for hours now. My power's been down 4 times in the last week. The internet was down for 2 days in between the power outages, and it's been on and off ever since. You know how, like, the only way to get best comment is be one of the first comments so that you get the most views and upvotes? Guess I'm looking at another 20 view video. Since, like I showed in another video, I'm not being suggested in the YouTube algorithms anymore, like other small creators, or large creators for that matter, are. Help me out on Patreon. Lol. But you can help me the most by doing what YouTube won't. Share my videos.